Great. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Cavino. I'm the executive director of the Blackstone Watershed Collaborative. And getting outside during the last stretch of winter, I'm definitely wishing it was spring. I'm kind of done with the snow, even though we're going to be getting a lot more snow coming up. Um, but having two dogs or three dogs and two horses, I'm outside a lot still. So even if it's not for fun, you gotta be outside and do chores. So it's good to get out. I'll hand it to Kaylee next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaylee McLaren. I'm the restoration manager at the collaborative. And I actually wrote this question because I've been hibernating myself, and I wanted to hear what you all have been doing to get outside because I think it's kind of needed. Normally, I try to run outside when I can, even in the winter, just like bundle up. But with all the snow, like all the sidewalks aren't really clear, and I feel like it's a little dangerous. So, yeah, I've been mostly inside.
Totally fair. How about Kevin?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Kevin Rice, Finance and Program Manager for the Collaborative. I started off pretty good. The town next to mine had a outdoor ice rink. They just sprayed down a field and created an ice rink, which was really great. It was a great way to spend a couple hours out there. And then we got 3 feet of snow within like 2 weeks. So I haven't seen that ice rink yet. So since then, been hibernating, but started off good. Looking forward to everything melting and getting a couple inches over the weekend.
Kevin. I've got Emily and then Eric on my screen.
Hello, I'm Emily Murad. I am with the Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission. I am an associate resiliency planner there, just started last week. So I'm happy to join this meeting for the first time. And I also have been doing a good amount of hibernating this winter, but I do try and get out and go for a walk. When it's sunny, at least it feels a lot better. Even if it's like 20 degrees, but the sun is out, I feel like I can survive that.
Welcome. Thanks for joining. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Eric, do you want to go next?
I'm Eric Brightwitz. I'm superintendent of Blackstone River Valley National Historical Park and Roger Williams National Memorial, where I'm at this morning. Honestly, I go south quite a bit during the winter. It's, family and friends in South Texas was there in late January. Kevin Rice knows South Padre Island and sunny 72. It was tough. And I'm heading to South Georgia next week for training, sunny 72. It's going to be tough. Yeah. But in between, I do hibernate.
Thanks, Eric. Jealous. I've got Judy and then Nick.
Good morning, everybody. Judy Rondo. I'm the Non-Point Source Outreach Coordinator with the Non-Point Source Management section in the Watershed Planning Program at Mass DUP. Um, I love winter. I love winter hiking. This year, unfortunately, I just haven't been able to get out, but I'm really excited that we're turning the corner here on winter, and I noticed the other day that I was out around 6 o'clock. I was just headed somewhere, and it just wasn't quite dark yet. So I'm really excited at the thought of excuse me, being able to get out and maybe do some short hikes after work now that the days are a little bit longer. I really love this time of year because I love watching that transition from winter into spring. So I'll be out in the woods looking to see what's pinking up and what plants are starting to poke through the snow. So yay, winter's almost over.
I think was I next? This is Nick. I'm a senior environmental planner with the Horsley Witten Group. I do like to get outside in the winter and run. I just bundle up and seems to do okay as long as it's not maybe low teens. And then in the spring, when all the other runners come back, I get a little frustrated because my nice, quiet, empty streets are a lot busier, but that's the nature of things.
You're the hardcore runner. Thanks. Cassandra, and then Peter, and then Sarah.
Hey everyone, my name is Cassandra Flores. I'm Senator Reed's Community Affairs Coordinator in the Providence office. So I have been hibernating. I'm also a runner, but it's been too cold and also lots of snow. So I've just been at the gym running. So
Okay, I'm Peter Coffin with the Blackstone River Coalition. Uh, Hibernating, basically, doing a lot of reading, except for a lot of trips to the wood pile. So that's my daily exercise. A couple trips out to bring in the wood.
I feel you, Peter. Sarah?
Good morning. My name's Sarah. I am an educator with Mass Audubon based out of Broadmeadow Brook Wildlife Sanctuary in Worcester. And I try, it encourages me to get outside working at a wildlife sanctuary because I have easy access to a trail. So I try to get myself out on the trails when it's not too cold, but sometimes it's just a quick walk.
Sometimes that's all you need, though. A quick walk through 3 feet of snow is a lot of work. Let's see. I have Danielle, and then Donna, and then Ryan.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Danielle Moore. I'm the Watershed Outreach Manager with the Narragansett Bay Estuary Program. And I would say that I've been doing mostly hibernating. Sometimes I feel like I need to just like sit in front of the window like a cat and just like absorb some sunlight in the winter time.
Absolutely.
I'm Donna Williams. I'm with the Blackstone River Coalition and the Blackstone Heritage Corridor. Ted, my husband, and I walk when the roads are safe. And after the snow has come, it's been great. It's been above 30 and it's wonderful. When we're looking for red-winged blackbirds, haven't heard any yet, but looking. Then inside, I've been planting my vegetable seeds. The onions are up about 4 inches. So yeah, the leeks get planted today. So that's got me looking forward to spring.
Absolutely. Let us know when you hear those red-winged blackbirds. It's such a good sound.
I will.
Ryan, do you want to go next?
Yeah, my name's Ryan. I'm the Recreational Resources Manager with the Blackstone Heritage Corridor. Started this week. And normally I do a lot of indoor woodworking hobbies in the winter, but I had a reconstructive surgery on my hand in November, so I have done nothing but sit inside since then.
But this new position will definitely get you out exploring the Blackstone. So
It will.
excited to have you as part of the team. Thanks.
Thank you.
Aaliyah, do you want to go next? And then I have Danica and Melanie.
Sounds good. Hi, I'm Aaliyah Kesso. I'm the conservation agent for the town of Shrewsbury. I definitely am more hibernation prone. I like to fall whenever I recreate in the snow, so I try to avoid that as much as I can. I, similarly to Danielle, really like to sit in the window and just soak up all the sun from the coziness of my indoor space.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Danica Belknap. I am the new SNP Network liaison. So I don't know if you are all familiar with Kim Groff. I think she used to participate in these calls, but I'm kind of stepping into her role. She was the SNP Network's liaison for Massachusetts, and I'll be stepping into her role covering Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Over the next year, we'll kind of be overlapping. So this is my first meeting with this group. I'm still kind of familiarizing myself with this region. I was working in southeastern Massachusetts in the Taunton River watershed before. So it's nice to see everyone. And I very much try to get outside for walks in the winter. Mostly for my dog, more so than for me. The snow has made it very difficult because everything is just covered in snow, and like we can't even access a lot of like the parks and stuff that we would go to because the entrances are all and parking areas are all snowed over. So it's very sad. But I am also, like Judy, very much looking forward to more sunlight and hopefully the snow melting soon.
I'm with you. Melanie, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Melanie Fernandez. I'm the Director of Environmental Education for Blackstone Valley Tourism Council. I took over this particular meeting from James, who's our executive director. He thought probably falls better into environmental education than it does into his position. So I'm happy to be working with all of you. And I tend to hibernate. I really try. I'm very cold sensitive, but I really tried at the beginning because I live with my sister and she has two dogs, a very large livestock guardian dog, and then a corgi, and we were doing great up until the snow. And so when even the giant livestock guardian dog looks at the snow and goes, "Oh hell no," that kind of cuts out the walk. She's like, "Nope, solid stop, full halt, quick quiet." So, and the corgi, he can't even see over the snow still. So, um, yeah, we've been hibernating and doing exactly what somebody else said was enjoying the sun through the window, not going outside.
Smart. Yeah, we used to have a corgi and she would kind of tunnel through the snow, but then it would collapse on top of her. It wasn't very efficient. Next I have Katie, Hillary, and then Mayor.
Morning, everyone. My name's Katie Liming. I'm the Lakes and Ponds Coordinator for the City of Worcester. And I like to take walks outside and appreciate how much more acclimated I've gotten to the cold compared to the start of winter, even though it's still challenging for me.
Good morning. I'm Hillary King. I work for the MVP grant program in Massachusetts. And yeah, similarly, I also have a dog, and living in suburbia, we do lots of walks. Um, but yeah, hoping to get out in the woods again soon and see the trails, but my boots just aren't high enough. Pass it on.
I get that. Meher, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Meher Khanna. I work for the Neponset River Watershed Association as the Environmental Science Fellow. And I'm definitely cold all the time. I'm sitting by my space heater right now. But I do like going on little local weekend trails nearby. I like the crunchy snow, so not trying not to hibernate as much.
Thanks. I have Kelly and then Bill and Allison.
Everyone, Kelly King. I'm an environmental planner with the Horsley Witten Group based out of Providence. During the winter, I do my best to get down to South County and do my winter beach walks, which are cold and frigid, but also sometimes the most peaceful time to enjoy our beaches.
I love a snowy beach. It's such a unique landscape.
Hi, I'm Bill Napolitano. I'm a resiliency planner with the Old Colony Planning Council. I've been digging an elaborate trench system around my house so that I can get out to my bird feeder and engage in the non-competitive winter sport of periodic roof raking, of which I've become very good.
Add it to the Olympics, Bill.
Absolutely.
I think it was Allison that was next. Did I say?
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is Allison from Rhode Island DOT Environmental. I, like many, are hibernation bound. I have a craft room with three windows on, whatever, lots of windows. I love watching the snow, not so much driving in it or shoveling it. So I have two boys that do all of the outdoor shoveling and plowing and all of the things. So I get to sit and craft.
Love it. Thanks. And our last couple here, I have Taryn and Vincent.
Good morning, everybody. I am Taryn. I'm an intern with Senator Reed's office, and I live in Providence on College Hill, so I love just walking around and going up and down the hills for a little bit of a workout.
That is brave. Those hills are, I feel like, tough when it's not snowy and icy. Good for you. Vincent, do you want to go next?
Sure. Vincent Ty from Shrewsbury DPW. My way of going outside is just find other places to go, like the gym or something.
Fair. Well, thank you all for joining and taking the time to kind of go through that with us. And I know we have some new faces today, which is always exciting. So I'll just mention again that, sometimes when I have been in meetings, I've been like, oh my gosh, why are we spending so much time on introductions? But because the collaborative meets monthly and one of the things we really do is try and build relationships between different partner organizations. I think it's worth it to take the time sometimes and get to know each other a little bit better. It helps us create more of a sense of person-to-person interaction, and learn more about each other, kind of create that trust so that hopefully we can work together in the future on some of these programs and partnerships, which can be challenging. So when you have that trust, it helps have more successful partnerships, I think, in the future. So thanks for taking the time. Do we have Molly on today?
I'm not seeing her on the call.
Okay. So she might join late. I don't know if we've heard from her. If we don't hear from her today, then we'll definitely have her back. Molly Hastings runs Rhode Island Beaver Management and wanted to give an overview of some of the conflict between humans and beavers and what people do. Uh, I know that beaver management has come up before in the past, and I've always kind of just stayed away from it because it's a complicated topic. So we're interested in hearing more from some professionals who work in that space and can talk about both sides of the issue. But we'll keep our eye on that. For academic partnerships and research opportunities, thanks to Sarah Bertrand, we were able to work with the Mass Audubon's Climate and Democracy program and did a presentation to some eighth graders at Worcester East, and also did a presentation to a Clark University practicum course, a pop course that is being taught specifically about the Blackstone River. I'm hoping that becomes a recurring course with this new professor that came in so that we can be a part of that program. And we talked to both of those groups about our fish parade. When I worked with the Clark University students, we had a couple of hours, and so I kind of gave a broad overview of some of our work and then let them choose which topic they wanted to learn more about. And unanimously, everyone in the class wanted to learn more about migratory fish. So it was pretty neat to hear that. And we're hoping that both of these programs or both of these groups of students can get involved in some way with public art for our fish parade, which we're just starting to plan out. So if you are Allison, I heard you have a craft room. So if anyone's interested in doing something crafty with us, we're trying to plan what that might look like, and we'll have a craft night probably a week or two before our parade, which we'll get to in a minute, but May 16th. Does anyone have any other university or academic updates that they want to provide? Okay. So I should mention maybe some folks might have heard there was an Eco Rhode Island article that came out that was written by a student in partnership with Eco Rhode Island, and there's a little bit of confusion about the student not realizing that it was ready to be published, and so there were some quotes in there that around the Blackstone River being kind of an inconvenient backyard, and some partners felt like their quotes weren't really as in context as well as they wanted them to be. And so folks reached out to the collaborative and asked if we could kind of present a response to that, kind of an op-ed, and tell a little bit a different story about the Blackstone River and how it's not an inconvenient backyard. It's this really wonderful treasure. So maybe we could get the link to that article and share it with you. But happy to get students involved with journalism, but it was a reminder of needing to always check with your sources before you publish and make sure that everyone feels comfortable with what's being put out there. But it was a great silver lining opportunity for us to kind of write about some of the work that's happening, particularly around Pawtucket and Central Falls. For access, we don't have an update. We still have this in there. It's starting to get warmer almost. So if you want to put something on the calendar with us, we would love to meet with you, especially if your community is a main STEM community that we can paddle on the Blackstone. We'd love to show you your part of the Blackstone River and think more together about how we can create new access points or improve our existing access points. So feel free to reach out to Kaylee if you're interested in that. Oops. Anything else on access? Anything on Bikeway Greenway?
Yes. This is
Go,
Donna.
Donna.
Let me unvideo myself. Yes, the town of Grafton is has some energy as far as uh, design of filling the gap of the bikeway, greenway in the town of Grafton. So the town planner, Fiona, along with Anya Wilczynski from the Heritage Corridor and Select Woman Anne Marie Foley have completed and submitted a Mass Trails grant, which is quite extensive. And also, that group is applying for Community Preservation Act funding in Grafton. So the hearing before the Community Preservation Committee is next Thursday night. So we'll be there telling them about this grant application. And we're hopeful that if Grafton can get the ball rolling, then Sutton and Millbury and Northbridge and Uxbridge can see this activity and take heart that maybe they can further the ball down the court. So
Wonderful. Thanks, Donna, for keeping an eye on that, and good luck at that meeting. Let us know if we can help.
thank you.
I love to hear about Community Preservation Act funding being used for this too. I know that as we talk to communities along the main stem in particular, we've heard a lot about the bikeway being a really important goal for communities to create this path and the challenges around that. But I'm excited to kind of hear more as it gets put together and having Ryan on board with the Heritage Corridor, helping that along. Um, in particular, I know the communities of Lincoln, Cumberland, and especially Pawtucket and Central Falls have been, and Woonsocket actually, although a lot of the Rhode Island communities have been talking about the bikeway and how we can maybe use the work around the lower four dams and how we're trying to get fish passage, and at the same time thinking about how that bikeway could be a part of those projects. So trying to keep that in mind. For fish passage, I think we've mentioned before, but we're currently in the midst of permitting the vertical slot fishway around the lowest two dams. We still have pending applications with NOAA, both from the Rhode Island DEM and the Narragansett Indian Tribe. We're told that those applications are still pending and being shown as in review with the federal government. But we submitted those over a year ago now, so we're not sure when they'll kind of get out of review and if that funding will be available or not. We are looking forward to our fourth annual fish migration parade, though. So, like last year, it's going to be another paddle where we bring folks to Central Falls Landing and explore Valley Falls Marsh, which is the spawning grounds where we're trying to bring back these migratory fish too. So, here are just some images of that fun paddle. We really encouraged folks to make different like art pieces or, we made these fish hats. So, we could bring them with us on the paddle. And we brought in all of this different artwork that's been created at different years and kind of hung it around. So we would love to include more public art. If you are a crafty person, just reach out to us and we'd love to kind of think about what that might mean. If you want to help us run a craft night, we have several folks that have said they're interested, but we don't have specific ideas yet. So we'd love to hear more. Yes, thank you, Kaylee. And registration, we are working with the Blackstone Valley Tourism Council. Thank you, Melanie and others, to run this, and they kind of manage all the logistics of all the boats, which is fantastic. We will have, I believe, I'm not remembering my numbers exactly. I think it's about 60 something seats for everybody, whether it's on the Riverboat Explorer or renting a kayak. You're also welcome to bring your own kayak, and we don't have or canoe. We don't have a cap on those. So registration will be open hopefully by the end of March. And we'll keep you posted. Anything else on Fish Passage that folks have questions about or want to mention? Okay. Once we hear more about either permitting, funding, or Additional information around alternatives with Elizabeth Webbing. We're looking at lowering or potentially fully removing Elizabeth Webbing Dam. The engineers have kind of gone back to the drawing board on that one to get some additional surveying done of understanding where the bedrock is versus where the constructed dam is at Elizabeth Webbing. And once they have more information, we'll be able to model how we might be able to do more of like a rock ramp fishway and taking over the entire channel to allow fish to pass naturally over that where the dam is now. For water quality, Kaylee, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So if you don't know, we run the Blackstone CSO working group, which meets quarterly. It's mostly focused on Worcester because the other end of the watershed kind of more has their stuff figured out a little bit. And Worcester is also working on their long-term control plan now. So it's a good time to kind of rally around this issue and, kind of come up with a solution that works. So I canceled our last meeting that we had. There really just wasn't a lot to talk about. There weren't any updates. I hadn't heard from the city. I know that they are planning to have another public kind of workshop-y thing that was supposed to be in January, so we're waiting on that. But right now, we're going to continue to meet quarterly, so our next meeting will be in May, unless something else comes up that we want to chat about. And as far as CSO events, we didn't have any since our last meeting, but there was a force main break, which caused an SSO, a sanitary sewer overflow at Sutherland Road on Southwest Cutoff, and that was in late January. The estimated volume was 26,000 gallons. I don't have a ton of extra information on that, so if anybody else knows more than I do, maybe like Peter, Donna, feel free to jump in.
Thanks. Yeah, and as we hear more, either what's going on with the city's long-term control plan, or if we're working to maybe think about how we might encourage more broad participation around that topic, we'll be reaching out to you. So BRC wasn't able to join us today, but we wanted to highlight this. We're really excited that their water quality monitoring summit is coming up on March 28th. And we also have the watershed-based plan, and there's a steering committee around that. Several of you on the call I know are on that steering committee as well. And we decided it might be a good idea to do our public kind of kickoff workshop at the same time as that water quality monitoring summit, because the folks who are attending that summit and do water quality monitoring are probably the exact folks that we want in the room to talk about this watershed-based plan and start thinking about, what are our water quality goals? What are things that you know are problems or might be potential solutions, and getting that feedback. So we would love to have you join us on March 28th. The first program will be the Water Quality Monitoring Summit starting around 9. We anticipate that to go until around 11, and then we'll transition into the watershed-based plan and end around 1. We will feed you, so there's breakfast in the morning. We'll have sandwiches or something, light lunch in the afternoon. So please save the date. There's not an RSVP required for this, but if you know you're coming, we'd love to hear from you, and we can plan on how much food to bring. But we'd love to have you. For dam removal and restoration, I don't have a lot of updates, but I just wanted to highlight that the Rhode Island Climate Resilience Fund is expected to open soon. This hasn't been open since the summer of 2024, but Rhode Island has these regional resilience coordinators now, and so they're helping the communities apply for these funds. So especially if there's a project that is sort of a regional project, the climate resilience coordinators will help write that application on behalf of those communities that want to participate and try and get these funds. So we are planning a meeting at Sycamore Landing, Friends of the Blackstones headquarters, coming up. We are looking at either March 2nd or March 6th. I'm trying to figure out which one we have more folks available. Of course, there's not a date that works for everybody, but we'll get all the as many planners in the room or town administrators in the room as we can, talk about what our opportunities are for a climate resilience project that's sort of regional Blackstone focus. We have several ideas about what this might be, and then figure out who is the applicant for it. It could be a municipality, tribe, or nonprofit, how much that award is for. So typical awards in 2024 were around 100,000 up to like 350,000, but if it's a regional project, it might be more. There was a 25% match required last time, but because these are state funds, you can use federal funds as match. And because the collaborative has our National Fish and Wildlife Foundation funds, which work on climate resiliency throughout the watershed, we hope to use mostly those as our match. So it'll open soon in March. It can be used on anything from planning to implementation. And we would love your ideas. If you want to shoot us an email about what a regional idea might be, or if you know you want to participate in that meeting, feel free to reach out to me and I will make sure, hopefully you're already on our list, but if you're not, let me know and I'll make sure you get the invitation for that meeting coming up. And we'll send that out today, that invitation. So we'll choose that date soon. Is there anything else on kind of restoration projects or dam removal projects that anyone wants to mention? Okay, we'll highlight some of these American Rivers resources. So if you're not on their emails, they have a dam removal practitioner group that's nationwide. They have great resources that they send out. So they have a survey that's currently open right now asking dam removal practitioners how American Rivers might be able to support our work. And they're also making a community engagement platform and wanting people to kind of identify their interest in potentially participating in this. They also will have their annual State of Dam Removal webinar coming up on March 18th. That's always a really interesting webinar. There's a ton of information that they put in there, so I would recommend it. If you can't join that day, they also do they record it and put it on their website as well. You can also check out past webinars and past State of Dam removals if you're interested in what it looks like. For grants, so we are waiting to hear back about the Narragansett Bay Estuary Program. They had a capacity building design and planning grant, and we submitted an application hoping to get funding to do sediment sampling on the Blackstone River and provide technical assistance around that. So hopefully we'll hear back soon and be able to tell you more. And we also plan to apply for the DER partnership program. So we submitted an expression of interest and spoke with DER about this one. It's a pretty exciting opportunity because it hasn't been open for about 5 years. And this program funds 5 years of capacity building for a restoration focused watershed group and has an opportunity to expand that funding for another 5 years. So this kind of capacity building is just such a game changer for organizations. So we know we can continue working broad scale, helping communities as project needs arise on different restoration opportunities. But we also know that this money will only be for Massachusetts, which will mean if we get this funding, we need to divert some of our other funds to focus more on Rhode Island so that we still have that balance between state lines. Or if Rhode Island wants to create some sort of similar program where you provide capacity funding to restoration groups, we would love to work with you on that and we can learn from Massachusetts. MVP also, you guys have probably heard, is open. So the culvert replacement municipal assistance grant and MVP are both going through the new Eco One Stop program. So you apply on one application and describe your project. So it's a little bit different. We are currently working with Grafton and Douglas to submit applications on some of those. If your community is interested in applying to either of those grants, let us know if there's something that we can do to support you, whether it's helping write the application or just providing a letter of support. We are always happy to do that. And in general, if you're applying for grants, regardless of type of organization or community, if it's something relevant to climate resiliency and planning and the kinds of things that we work on, water quality improvement, restoration, access, stewardship, we'd love to write a letter of support and know about what you're working on so that we can help as much as we can. Anything else on grants that folks want to mention? So I'll share a few things that we've heard from our partners that we wanted to highlight, and then I'll hand it off to all of you to share your updates. So the New England Environmental Finance Center, which is home of the SNAP network, They have Massachusetts and Rhode Island grant funding workshops talking about how to fund the kind of work that we all do. So the Massachusetts workshop will be on March 3rd and the Rhode Island workshop on March 25th. They're both via Zoom. They're really informative. They're jam-packed with information. I would recommend signing up for those. Even if you're not able to attend, if you sign up, you can get the information about the recording when it's available as well. Um, Also, it's a little bit outside of our watershed, but it's basically the same. The Seekonk is kind of the Blackstone. So the city of Providence at our all the way at the bottom of our watershed is working on a stormwater utility, and they've been working with the SNAP network on this. I don't know, Danica, if you want to mention anything about this. I probably you're just kind of stepping into that role, but they've been working for a long time on adopting a stormwater utility. We don't have a lot of these in the area. Shrewsbury is a little unicorn there, having funding for stormwater. But on February 5th, they had a resolution promoting sustainability and or sustainable and equitable funding for this. And hopefully in the next couple weeks, they'll pass the resolution and the city can move on into implementation. Danica, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of new to the process, so I don't have a whole lot to add about progress, except I would just add that Newport and Barrington are also looking at in similar stages of starting to explore stormwater utility. So some are thinking about this as kind of like a watershed moment for Rhode Island, where if these communities were to adopt stormwater utilities, that it more communities in the region might follow suit, and it could be really good news and progress for stormwater funding.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a water bill, you pay your water bill. You have a sewer bill, you pay your sewer bill. People don't think about stormwater though, and there's a lot of infrastructure needed to continue managing our stormwater. So a stormwater utility looks at, and maybe this is a good presentation in the future to think about what's a stormwater utility. We can bring Vincent in, he's a pro. Um, so you are taxed basically on how much impervious surface you have. And most stormwater utilities have credit so that if you're managing your stormwater on site, if it's not going off and running into the stormwater system that's public, then you're not paying as much or you're not paying at all. So it tries to be equitable in terms of how much impervious you have and how much runs off. But there are a lot of different ways to create a stormwater utility and to figure out how much folks pay. But it's typically a pretty reasonable fee annually, but it can make a really big difference if everyone's kind of paying their fair share, especially from kind of commercial and industrial, these larger parking lots. So we're excited about hearing more. And now I'll hand it to you guys and ask if you have updates that you want to share. Oh, thanks, Hillary. $25 a quarter for Shrewsbury. That sounds, yeah, really not bad. Thanks. Katie.
Hi, all. Just would like to invite anyone who's in the Worcester area to the Lakes and Ponds program's annual event. It is called the State of the Lakes. It'll be next Thursday, February 26th, um, at the Worcester Senior Center. You can register and find out more information through the link that I just shared. You don't have to pre-register, but it really helps us with planning for numbers. We will have several groups tabling starting at 6 o'clock, and we'll have some light refreshments as well. And then our presentation will kick off at 6:30. So this event is a summary of the water quality data focused on our recreational lakes and ponds that our program collects over the course of the year. And we'll also discuss upcoming plans for water quality management and watershed management in the future. Thanks.
Thanks, Katie. Sorry for not having that on the slides, but yeah, that's a great event that comes up and we'll see you there. Donna.
Yes, I'd like to welcome Ryan Verhoog, who is here on the Zoom. He is our new staff person, a new position at the Blackstone Heritage Quarter. He is our recreation specialist, and man, oh man, his resume is fabulous. He's definitely the man for the job. So he'll be really pursuing the bikeway, river access, trails, all things recreational throughout the Heritage Corridor. And I'm pleased that we have this position. This is directly from our fundraising from our legacy campaign. So we're putting that money to work. So welcome, Ryan. I'll see you at the board meeting.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
Thanks, Donna. Yeah, we got to meet Ryan in person yesterday. We were very excited to be a part of his first week. This is actually our third time having a meeting together somehow in 1 week. So happy the collaborative and the Heritage Corridor can work together. Peter.
Yes, I'd like to announce that the Blackstone River Watershed Association has scheduled a public walk on Sunday, March 15th at 1 o'clock. Going to meet at Wendell Field. This is in Millbury. And Susan Thomas is going to do one of her great performances. So it'll be about a 3-mile walk. Sunday, March 15th at 1 o'clock.
Hopefully we don't have as much snow then. But if folks have been thinking about how do you get out, maybe this is your opportunity. Thanks, Peter. Sarah.
Thanks, Steph. Yes, I just want to share that we have a youth climate leadership program led by teens, and they are planning a youth climate summit in Worcester on Saturday, March 21st. I'll share the details in the chat. It's kind of for teens by teens, and just appreciate folks spreading the word, and all folks are welcome. All teens are welcome in the region.
Thanks, Sarah. That's always a good program too. And thanks, Hillary, the MVP Winter Webinar Series coming up on March 11th and 19th on MVP 2.0 seed projects and municipal solar. Nice. Thank you. We'll add that to our events calendar. Any other updates that folks have? Okay, well, we can be in hibernation. That's okay. We'll keep gathering all of this. Next time we'll have some more save the dates for you as well. So we've got a yoga program coming up. We have a hike at Blackstone Gorge. We just planned a trivia night, a Blackstone themed trivia night at Narragansett Brewing. So we've had some fun stuff coming up. We'll get those on our website and in our newsletter soon, and hope to see you out in the watershed. So our next meeting is on March 20th, and we'll be hearing from Curry Tulamitsis from Groundwork, Rhode Island. So we'll get more information to you soon, and we'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.